Alright, good day everyone. We're going to do the gematria numerology breakdown for the Cincinnati Bengals. First thing to discuss is the numbers that we're looking at. You break it down through the day's numerology plus the numerology for Super Bowl 56 or LVI. So, the date numerology gives us 13 because that's the day. 12 is the total numerology. You had 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, and 2. You get 12. So that's where that comes from. 13 plus 2 is 15. You add 22 on top of that, you get 37. Add another 20, you get 57. 132 becomes how you write the date internationally. You would write it 13.2.22 or 2022. And then in another way to write the date is the second or the February 13th or 2/13. The other two numbers here, 44 and 321, the Super Bowl is taking place on the 44th day of the year with 321 days remaining. Then if you come down here and do the gematria for Super Bowl LVI, gematria is a simple process. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, all the way to Z equals 26. If you do the gematria for Super Bowl LVI, you get the numbers 174, 57, 150, and 69. 57 is one of the key numbers that I'm looking at because it's actually in the day's numerology as well as in for the gematria for Super Bowl LVI. The other number we're looking at is 56, which I have squeezed in there. And the reason why we're looking at 56 is because it's Super Bowl 56. Here's a quick little scroll, and then we'll flip over and go into more detail of the players and their connections. So feel free to pause and look at it. And we'll get into a little more detail on the other side, breaking down the starters. This is the roster, or their depth chart, you could say, of the 53 people that are expected to play in the Super Bowl, including the head coach, which is also related with 12 and 15. Number-wise for the playoffs that could relate is the Bengals could get their 15th all-time playoff loss, but they could also improve to 1 and 2 in Super Bowl. So it's going to be interesting to see. On the flip side here, we're going to get into their starters. The first connection is their offensive starters. An interesting thing to note here is every single skill position and their possible backup, because we don't know if C.J. Uzomah is going to be playing or not. Drew Sample's the backup, and he's also related. 1 second, let me call some puppies in. Little girl, adentros. She's learning how to bark at everything. All right, for the offense, as you see, we got all of their skill positions related from Joe Burrow. The interesting thing is Joseph Lee Burrow is 213, which is really hard to get some of those higher numbers. The offensive starter, I think that's going to be doing the best is going to be a connection of Burrow with Tyler Boyd. He was born on the 15, but the 13 weeks from previous years of doing this, individuals who have a birthday related to a specific number, especially the numerology, seem to have the greatest showing. Another thing to note, and this also goes with the narrative, is one of the 5 offensive line starters is the only person that has connections to the game, which we've heard all year long about the offensive line issues with the Cincinnati Bengals. And I could definitely see a game where Joe Burrow and company get sacked several more times. Like I said, everything's connected for them except their line, which is a big glaring issue. As for their defensive starters, they also have 7 of the 11 starters that are connected. Now, when I did this last year, the Buccaneers had all 11 defensive starters had connections, which is why I was pretty convinced that the Buccaneers were going to win. You can check my post from last year when I predicted the Buccaneers were going to win in a low-scoring game. So we'll see what happens here. Another person I'm interested in is Jermaine Pratt is number 57. That's going to be one of the bigger numbers on the day, as well as Jesse Bates, so we might get a turnover or two. And then in the Super Bowl, what always seems to have a big impact are special teams. And interestingly enough, Evan McPherson is connected, as well as their holder and punter, Kevin Huber. and their long snapper Clark Harris. So there's a lot of connections. So I could see a very potential, either a good field goal or maybe some good punting. We might have some type of special team play with the connection numbers. So we'll see. So all in all, some notes. 41 of the 54 on the roster have connections. The 54 is the 53 starting roster plus the head coach, Zach Taylor. On offense, 7 of the 11 starters, all skill positions, 1 of 5 on the line, so we could see some sacks. That's just kind of going with the narrative of the Bengals. The defense has also 7 of 11 starters, and the special teams is 3 out of 3. So this is my breakdown on the gematria just for the Cincinnati Bengals. I will be posting the breakdown of the St. Louis Rams, hopefully later today or tomorrow. And then once both of those are done, I will do my Super Bowl predictions. So I hope everyone enjoys this video. God bless, and may peace be with you all.